Welcome to another Prisma Access webinar series. Today we will be talking about our new Prisma Access Release 2.2 and features and go into details. Before I jump into the features, let's talk about a little bit on the Prisma SASE, the industry's only complete SASE product for the Palo Alto networks. As the world and the workforce around the globe rapidly shifts, organizations are forced to rethink how they are doing business. There are many reasons for this tectonic shift, which includes a hybrid workforce, which has become a new norm, even a unique requirement for many organizations. As a result, many companies are planning to support a model where the majority of the employees can work fluidly between the corporate offices, branch offices, home offices, or on the road. And the transformation is a cloud and digital initiative, which are driving organizations to invest more in the SaaS and other public cloud services. Branch transformation is well underway, driven by this new hybrid work model and digital transformation initiative. All these changes mean that more organizations than ever are in dire need of a security model that address network cloud protection with a secure service edge. Prisma SASE converts security, SD-WAN, and autonomous digital experience management into a single cloud-delivered services. This is integrated offering is consistent, effective, and unique in its offerings. With the Prisma Access 2.2, we are introduced really some of the great features which are enabling the Prisma SASE, the complete SASE product in the market as of today. Prisma Access 2.2, at a glance, you can see here there are three main broad categories we are introduced in Prisma Access 2.2. Best of the breed security, simplicity and scale, visibility and serviceability. In the best of breed security, we have introduced here in this release SaaS security inline visibility, DLP with the multi-tenant environment, DLP support in the cloud management, security posture improvements in the cloud management, some proxy enhancements, clientless VPN, extended this support for the different apps in the clientless VPN, IPv6 support for the Prisma Access, some new regions, wildfire regions, IoT regions, and for the visibility, we have introduced some of the new features for enhanced monitoring in our insights and ADEM. I will go into each feature and give you an overview of what exactly this feature is about and discuss some of the use cases. Today, I will be only talking about Prisma Access 2.2 Panorama managed features only. For the cloud managed, we have introduced the cloud managed features also in this release. But for the cloud specific features and their use cases and details, I will be talking about in our upcoming webinar, which will be totally based on the cloud management piece of the Prisma Access, and I will go into the details of those features. So today, I will focus on Panorama managed Prisma Access related features only. So before I jump to the features in detail and each feature, let's have a look at the Prisma Access 2.2 upgrade considerations. Prisma Access 2.2 consists of a single Prisma Access version, and it uses the cloud service plugin 2.2 preferred. There is no 2.2 innovation version, as previously we had in 2.0 innovation and preferred, but 2.2 is only preferred. A data plane and infrastructure upgrade is required for all upgrades from an existing Panorama managed Prisma Access version to 2.2. And the data plane will be upgraded to PAN-OS 10.0.7. After you upgrade to the cloud service plugin 2.2, you receive all the supported features in the Prisma Access to date, including innovation, preferred feature, and all those will be included. For all upgrades, we showed you have signed up for the alerts in the Prisma Access app. Palo Alto Networks will alert you 21 days in advance for the schedule date and available time windows. And we will discuss all this, how to sign up and what are the timelines for the upgrade later in this webinar. So your Panorama version should be upgraded to PanOS 10.0.5 or the later version of 10.0. Panorama version 10.1 is not supported for use of Prisma Access version earlier than 2.2. After your data plane is upgraded and you install the cloud service plugin 2.2, then Panorama version 10.1 will be supported and you can install 10.1. You should not install PanOS 10.1 until your data plane upgraded and you install and upgrade to Cloud Service Plugin 2.2. For the Global Protect versions, Prisma Access supports any Global Protect version which is not end of life. But if you are planning to use or using Autonomous Digital Experience Management, the recommended version is 5.2.8. And if you are all using Global Protect app lock collection feature, so the minimum version requirement for that is 5.2.5. If you have any questions, please feel free to post in the Q&A section and will be answered at the end of the webinar or during that from our panelists. So let's have a look into the each section of the features, best of the breed security, what we are introducing, the new feature. Support for the gzip encoding the clientless VPN. With this feature, you can now allow Prisma Access clientless VPN mobile users to access gzip compressed websites to use both internal and SaaS applications. Support for gzip encoding ensures that the gzip encoding request within the HTTP header is accepted by the clientless VPN portal. This ensures that content from the gzip compressed web pages is rendered correctly when accessed through the clientless VPN portal. The clientless VPN can determine whether to use gzip encoding based on the HTTP request from the client and the corresponding response from the app. The gzip value must be included as one of the accept encoding header values so that it is accepted by the clientless VPN. Any application using the gzip encoding over clientless VPN will be able to consume this feature. Explicit proxy enhancements. Prisma Access offers some of the enhancements in 2.2 release for the explicit proxy feature. So if you're using this feature, now there are some enhancements in the DNS security with the customizable actions per DNS category. There's the simplified workflow for the policies, proxy chaining, deployment, and the operational status of the visibility via Prisma Access Insights. So if you're considering to plan to use this feature with your existing network already using proxies, so you can be used through the if you use the PAX file or on endpoint or end users, or you can use it for the proxy for editing for the compliance. Before you use this feature for the secure mobile user with the explicit proxy, I would recommend you that you should go through all the completed software and network requirements. You can check our Tech Talk section for the explicit proxy with the Prisma Access and check the requirements. There are specific requirements for this feature and for the software as well as the network requirements, how you should apply. And there's some of the licensing and onboarding guidelines you should be aware of before you're planning to use this feature. SaaS security for the inline traffic at a cloud scale by rapidly discovering, categorizing and controlling new SaaS applications natively without additional tools. As SaaS apps continue to proliferate in a highly distributed enterprises, securing them with a traditional CASB is inadequate. Traditional approaches are complex and which requires multiple tools like of this scale and having a high TCO. Prisma Access natively integrates with SaaS security inline and with no additional tools to enable you to rapidly discover and control new SaaS applications to keep pace with their explosions. Our crowdsourced cloud app ID technology leverages the power of our global community to and continuous provide automated and continuous discovery. This categorization of new and emerging SaaS applications, when combined with the ML-powered threat prevention and integrated DLP, you get the best security outcome. Traditional CASP vendors rely on manual signature-based approaches to discover new SaaS applications, um, which cause a delay in visibility and control. But with SaaS security for inline traffic, you can discover and categorize and controlling new SaaS applications without any additional tools. DLP support for the multi-tenant deployments. Prisma Access will allow you to use the same DLP capabilities as that used in a single tenant deployment and on the next generation firewalls by adding enterprise DLP plugin for your multi-tenant deployments. If you have existing DLP deployment and you're running Prisma Access preferred release, you will need to upgrade Enterprise DLP on Prisma Access to the DLP plugin after you upgrade to the Prisma Access 2.2 preferred. If you are upgrading from an innovation release to the 2.2 preferred, you're already using Enterprise DLP plugin and no upgrade is required in that case. You can manage DLP data patterns and data filtering profiles at the super user level at admin user, and all the tenants share the same pattern and profiles. You can also implement security policies at per tenant level and associate different data filtering profiles per tenant to allow you uh, per tenant control what profiles are being used. The super user level admin user must commit all these changes to the panorama whenever you make change any DLP profiles and patterns. The next section in 2.2 features we have the visibility and serviceability. In the visibility, enhance reporting and monitoring with the Prisma Access Insights. In Prisma Access Insights, we have made some enhancements. You can now connect to the Prisma Access using either Global Protect, Explicit Proxy, and both simultaneously. You can see here in the Summary tab, we have a different widgets here, explicit mobile user. So you can select a connect method, what you want to see here. If you have using Global Protect and Explicit Proxy, both methods, so you will see the Explicit Proxy as well as the Global Protect. The widgets related to the mobile users now allow you to filter their data based on the users connected to the Prisma Access using either Global Protect, Explicit Proxy, or both. You can select the option in the connect method filter. You can monitor the remote networks mobile user license expiration dates in this section, and this will show you how long before the license expires. You can also view the connectivity trends, mobile user, unique user for the last 90 days, uh, current connected users, and detail of user connections. Insights has enhanced time range selection to enable you to set a custom time interval. It will also show you some of the pre-populated time range in the filter, but you can set a custom time interval, date and time. For example, um, start at 5 p.m. on June 1st and end on 4 p.m. on June 2nd. In addition to the pre-populated time range selection available in this filter, the allowed custom time range interval is a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of now uh, minus 30 days. To set a start time, first select the data in the calendar, then select a time under start, apply the start time, and then set end by selecting the end date in the calendar. For the insights, all the enhancements and the features, we will be having a detailed webinar for Prisma Access Insights. We'll go each and every feature, all each dashboard, each widget into detail. Uh, please do register for that webinar. It's having a very useful and a lot of information there. IPSec Termination node utilization. Network bandwidth for the remote network can be monitored at both locations level as well as the compute level. If you have configured aggregated bandwidth model, you can access this feature from the site list tab in the remote networks. Click on the compute location in the site list and open IPSec Termination node utilization details panel, which displays the bandwidth consumption details for each IPsec tunnel node in the site. The data displayed when you hover your cursor over any data point in the graph. When monitoring the bandwidth at the compute level, you are bound by this IPsec termination node, each of which has a 500 Mbps capacity. However, the bandwidth is distributed across many sites that terminate the IPsec termination node. You can now see bandwidth utilization for specific IPsec termination node, which allows you to estimate the need for more bandwidth or relocate surplus bandwidth. You can view all the IPsec termination nodes that constitute a compute location and drill down to a specific compute location. Autonomous DEM. Before I explain this one its feature, our next webinar will be on autonomous DEM. I would highly encourage you, please, to sign up for that webinar in which we will be going details of autonomous DEMs. Here I'm just giving you a quick overview what exactly this tool is, but in next webinar we will be going into detail of each and every feature, how you can use, what are the use cases, how the test you can perform, how you can activate, uh, and all those details. Autonomous digital experience management is a service that provides native end-to-end visibility and insights for all users traffic in your secure access service edge or SASE environment. Autonomous DEM functionality is natively integrated into the Global Protect app and Prisma Access, and therefore does not require you to deploy any additional appliances or agents. Because of this native integration, the ADEM service enables synthetic tests for application you specify both from the endpoint and from different vantage points in the Prisma Access. ADEM continuously monitors real user traffic as it crosses each segment from the endpoint to the application and identifies the baseline metrics for each application and automatically remediates any issues within a Prisma Access cloud. In addition, ADEM provides visibility into any deviations or events that degrade the user experience across each segment between the end user and the application, whether it's an endpoint, Wi-Fi, LAN, router, ISP, Prisma Access, or the application, either it's SaaS, or the data center. ADEM continuously monitors every segment in the service delivery path and provides insights that help you to quickly isolate segment which is causing digital experience problem and simplify remediation. Prisma Access ADM integrated with the Prisma SD-WAN provides path and performance visibility with the segment-wise insights. Unlike other solutions, ADM agent natively integrated on the Prisma SD-WAN devices, which allow our ADM solution to measure experience of every application across all configured paths from the branch, either it's active backup, underlay, overlay path. This provides admins with actionable information to isolate the problem domains and resolve issues faster. This capability can be enabled with a few clicks, simplified onboarding workflow for existing new customers through an add-on subscription for Prisma Access, just few clicks, and it does not require any appliance or a VM. Please do sign up for our upcoming webinar on ADAM. We have made this feature for the multi-tenant, this service ADAM to multi-tenant deployment also. To enhance the application experience with multi-tenant deployments, Prisma Access now provides flexibility to distribute and enforce ADAM mobile users licenses at each tenant. So the IT team managing Prisma Access using Panorama will be having the flexibility to allocate and enforce ADAM license per subtenant. This feature will provide visibility to overall allocated and available ADAM license count per subtenant, mobile users, and remote network zone. Another section of the 2.2 features is simplicity and scale. IPv6 support for the private app access. Prisma Access will support private app access over IPsec for a dual stack, mobile users, and single and dual stack endpoints at branch offices. This feature will help if you are moving to modern network that leverages IPv6. Prisma Access will allow you to specify IPv6 addresses in components such as infrastructure subnet, mobile users, IP address pools, and BGP peers. Prisma Access will still use public IPv4 addresses for mobile users, VPN tunnels, or Global Protect, and the service connection and remote network connection IPSec tunnels. It will provide network access security for IPv6 traffic for internal private application that could be located at data center or remote sites. For mobile users, the endpoint must be dual stacked with access to the internet over IPv4, so it can form a tunnel to the Prisma access over IPv4. Once the tunnel is established, the endpoint can send IPv6 traffic destined to the internal applications. Remote networks and the service connection must also form remote network and service connection tunnels over IPv4. Overlay traffic can be IPv4, IPv4 plus IPv6, or IPv6 only. And there will be no internet access to IPv6 destination via Prisma Access. You can configure IPv6, enable IPv6 and specify in a subnet your infrastructure, as I explained earlier, infrastructure subnet to enable the communication between your remote network and the branch location. For mobile user deployment, where you can define IP address pools, DNS server address required, BGP pairs. This figure you can see that shows the mobile users accessing a private app that is hosted at the data center. Connected to the Prisma Access by service connection, you can configure a mobile user IP address pool for mobile users and infrastructure subnet for service connection to use IPv6 addressing to access the app. But for the outside, for external use, you need IPv4 only, and for the internal, you can use both IPv4 and IPv6. or IPv6 alone even. Scaling, we have introduced a new wildfire region. Prisma Access now supports the use of the wildfire Germany cloud, allowing you to utilize the wildfire cloud-based threat analysis and prevention engine while ensuring the files submitted for analysis should stay in the country to address the data location concerns. And you can see the new region will be using these locations all in EMEA. New IoT region in Europe. Prisma Access customers with IoT subscriptions want to ensure that they are using services in their local regions to meet their compliance, data sovereignty, and data residency regulations. Um, so we have introduced a new region in the EU, and this IoT subscription is not yet supported in the cloud management. So this is restricted to Panorama managed only.